Hello, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Carrie. I'm a 29-year-old vegan living in Bristol in the UK, and I live with my fiance, who is not vegan, but he does eat vegan at home with me. This is a part 2 video of eating meals which are compiled of mainly foods that I have in my pantry, fridge and freezer. But I will say that this week I did have to do some fresh food shopping, but I did not spend more than £11, I believe, this week. So I think I did pretty well. So I will show you what I bought and then the meals that I made. But if you haven't watched the first 2 videos of this series, which is me showing what's in my fridge, freezer and pantry, and then the first week of meals, then do go ahead and watch those first and then come back to this one. So this week, the meals have been pretty samey but delicious. So I have really utilised and leaned into the chicken mince that we have in the freezer. So we've had a few Mexican-inspired meals with that. And I have also made it a priority to eat through lots of potatoes, which I've bought this week. So without further ado, let's see what I bought and made. Now, I have been made aware that I've got 2 very small, very lovely viewers watching me at home. So I did just want to shout out my 2 nieces, Riley and Emmy. Hello girls, thank you so much for watching. They are 4 and 6 and have recently started watching these videos with their grandpa. So thank you so much for watching. And if you're inclined, then do say hello to Riley and Emmy in the comments. I'm sure they will be very excited to see that. I just went to the post office to post some stuff which is in a co-op, so I always check the clearance section when I go, and these chestnut mushrooms, which I wanted to get this week anyway, were down to 72p, and the normal price I think in Aldi and Lidl for these are 89p, so I'm saving myself 17p by getting these reduced ones, and they look like more than okay. There doesn't look to be anything wrong with them, so I'm hoping they'll last a little bit as well. Okay, this is my grocery haul for the week. So last week I didn't do one and I just picked bits up here and there. But this week I have actually gone in and done a grocery haul, and hopefully this is all I'm going to need to buy for this week before we go away. And this came to a total of £10.61, and I went to Aldi. So the first thing I've got here are these frozen blueberries, and they were £1.95, and this will just help with breakfasts. And on the same vein, I've got 5 bananas here. These were 78 pence. I got a tofu, and to be honest, I probably didn't need tofu. I've probably got enough protein in, but I just wanted it. I just wanted a bit of variation, so we're not just having mince all week. And the tofu is only 89p, so I'm happy with that. The next thing I got were these cherry tomatoes, 69 pence, and I just wanted something fresh to do a bit salady or that sort of thing, which is why the cherry tomatoes came onto my menu this week. Behind that, I've got these onions. These were, I'll show you here, just a kilo bag for 99p. Next are these wonky mixed peppers. I always get the wonky ones because I just don't see the point in paying such a premium for the other ones, because peppers are really expensive these days. So these were £1.60. There are 4 peppers in here. There's one really massive green one, and then 2 red ones, and then one smaller, like reddy green one. So I will definitely make good use of those, particularly with all the mince that we've got in. And then to go with kind of what I've got planned for mince and stuff, tortilla chips, and these are only 57p, so I felt absolutely fine with picking those up. Next was this cucumber. It's actually a really big one as well, which is good, and this was 89 pence. Next, now I'm a bit aggy about this, and I mean, it doesn't affect me, it's 6p more, it's fine, but it just shows that inflation. Like, one minute you go into a shop, okay, and these are 39p, And then the next day you go in and they are 45p and they've gone up by 6p. This isn't going to break the bank. It's just so annoying. And I don't know if this is across the board. I assume that it is, but I haven't looked in outside of Aldi, but I just couldn't believe it. 45p for some chopped tomatoes. Get a grip, honestly. Can't believe that. But anyway, got two because we don't have any. And then finally, the last thing I got, a classic me purchase, are these white potatoes. These were £1.35, 2 kilos of potatoes. So that is everything that I've got, which seems like I've actually bought quite a lot, but it was only £10.61 all in all. And this is for me and my fiancé, so £5.30 each. And hopefully we won't have to buy anything more this week. So I'm quite happy with that. And just nice to have a few more fresh things, particularly those peppers, I think are going to make a big difference. So I actually bought 3 more things from the shop, again from Aldi and one from Morrison's, but I did not pay any money for any of these items. So on the Morrison's app, I had a free vegan butter and it said with any transaction. So I thought, I wonder if the transaction can just be the butter and maybe I don't have to pay anything at all and buy anything else. So I tried it and it worked. So always check your Morrison's Mall card offers if you have the app. And this is the butter. So you can see that we've gone through quite a bit of it this week, but I just wanted to show it. It's the salted 200 grams Flora block. And it is delicious. I'd really, really recommend it, particularly if you're getting it for free. And I believe the Morrison's Mall price this week was £1 anyway, so quite a good deal and would really recommend that. And then the other kind of free stuff that I got was from Aldi this week, and this was because I recently got travel insurance through Money Supermarket, and I got a £5 voucher for doing that. I don't know why, it was just an offer at the time, and I chose my voucher for Aldi. So we got some bacon, vegan bacon, which was £1.99, and that was to go with our breakfast for dinner, which you'll see shortly. And I also got this pepperoni pizza, vegan pizza, which I hadn't seen in the freezer since for January. So I was very excited to see this. We didn't try it last time. And this was only £1.99 as well. And then finally with the voucher, we did just get some plain white bread, which was 47 or 49p. So didn't pay a penny of my own money for any of those items. It was just purely using that voucher. And the reason we got that pizza, by the way, and we haven't eaten it obviously, is because when we get back from holiday, you don't really want to go to a shop first thing, do you? So we will have dinner in the freezer ready for us, which will be this pizza. And we've got 2 oat milks in the cupboard, so we've got plenty of milk to last us 4 cups of tea. Breakfast today is some porridge oats, chia seeds, peanut butter, rice syrup, water and blueberries, and this is what it's turned out as. Didn't explode in the microwave this time, so I'm doing better than last week already. And then just a cup of tea as usual. Good morning. Excuse this, I literally just got up, but I have decided it's Saturday and I am going to be making myself some pancakes. So I think what I'll do is just make the whole batch and then I'll have some left over for either tomorrow or Monday or whatever. Like I will just have some like prepped pancakes in the fridge. I haven't done that before, but I've seen lots of people do it on YouTube and it looks to be absolutely fine. So this is the mix that I'm using and I got it from Heron Foods ages ago, to be honest. And it's just, all you do is add yogurt to it, I believe. Oh, milk as well. So yogurt and milk. So I'll just get the oat milk out and then we'll pop it in a bowl and do it. Okay, so I am just gonna open this up and put it in a bowl. So put all of that in there like so. It's also gluten-free. I'm not gluten-free, but it's just what they had. And I'm just going to zero them. And I need 125 grams of yogurt. Use the rest of this plain one first. And then I've got some vanilla one as well. So Let's see how much plain one. Not a huge amount, to be honest, which is fine. The vanilla one smells really good. So I'm just gonna mix it first. Get it nice and smooth. So I need 125 grams of it, so like 75 grams of the vanilla. Okay, that's that. 175 mils of oat milk. It does say soya, but I'm sure this will be absolutely fine. There we go. And if you're wondering what the music is in the background, it's Gracie Abrams. It is my soundtrack at the moment. I am such like a girly pop when it comes to my music taste these days. I used to be very sort of like bands and punk rock, but I just love the pop girlies these days. So Gracie, thank you. I'm also a big Maisie Peters fan, if you didn't know that about me. And obviously Taylor Swift. So it's just some fun facts about me while I'm making this pancake batter. So this is what it looks like, and it's quite like fluffy. So if you're making like English pancakes where you want crepes rather than like fluffiness, then you want to add more water to this, but I'm just going to be making American pancakes. But what I am going to do at this point is add some frozen blueberries into the mixture. Here are the frozen blueberries. I don't know how many I'm going to put in. I'm just going to eyeball it. I put that many in. Mix that up. And it's going to make the batter like purpley as well, which I think is so fun. I've got a big pan here so I can make multiple pancakes at once. And I'm just going to take this vegetable oil, because that's olive oil. It's not really what I want for pancakes, and pour it in. I want a fair amount of oil. So what I'm going to do now is put a decent amount pancake mix, and I reckon I can probably get 3 in here at once. Iced chai. And this is what I've ended up with. So my 3 pancakes, and I've added some more vanilla yogurt, and there are blueberries in the pancakes, of course. And I've got 3 ready to go in the fridge there as well. Lovely. No, so I'm working from home today, and I've got some of these malted Wheaties. They are so delicious. That's my breakfast with a cup of tea. Just making a toasty for lunch, so I've got that preheating. Got some bread, and I've grated some of the little vegan cheese on it. And then what I'm going to do is put some baked beans into the toasty as well, and they will just cook as it is cooking. So I'm just going to wait for that to go green. This is what the toasty looks like. So it's sealed in beans and the cheese. Delicious. Top tier. Right, I'm just going to use the rest of these chicken pieces from Aldi, and I am going to put them in the air fryer and make a protein pitta with Caesar dressing and some salad for lunch. For the salad in my wrap, I am just going to chop a cucumber into slices and then cube it into little pieces so it will fit nicely in my pitta, before I do the same with the cherry tomatoes. And then what I'm going to do is add these to a bowl, and I just added some salt and pepper at this point as well. And if I didn't have a dressing, then I would add olive oil or similar. But I do have a dressing today, so I don't need to. Okay, so the chicken has been cooked in the air fryer, so I'm just going to add it to my bowl here with the veg. I'm going to take my Caesar style dressing I've been trying to use up which is so tasty, by the way. I'd really recommend it if you're in the UK. And it's really reasonable as well. It's $1.25. Okay, and I'm just gonna give that a mix. Okay, so now I've got the filling. I have got protein pitta here. By the way, there's 8 grams of protein in this and 18.7, so 18 grams of protein in that. So this is going to be 26 grams of protein for this pitta, which is wonderful. So this is what it looks like. And I've got a tiny bit left over that I'll just put on the side of my plate. And that is lunch. Okay, so I'm having one of these all plants ready meals for lunch, just really quick before I meet up with my friend. It has got tempeh, beetroot. This is like a chickpea smash, I think, so like a hummusy type thing. Mixed rice and quinoa and broccoli, topped with a seed mix and red pepper flakes. So I'm gonna plate that up and show you when it's there. Okay, so this is what it looks like. First impressions are good. I'm not sure what the beetroot is gonna taste like warm. I've never had like cooked beetroot before. Well, obviously cooked, but you know, I've always had it cold, so we'll see. Now in the whole meal, the calories for this is 396. So if you are trying to watch your weight, then this is a great option. I'm, like I said before, I'm 4'11", so this is probably a perfect amount for lunch for me in terms of calories. But if you don't have weight to lose, then maybe you'd want to supplement this with something, and certainly not big enough for a dinner. But we'll see how satiated I feel after eating it. Today I've got the leftover mushroom soup portion from the freezer, and then I've just toasted one of those protein pittas. I took this pasta ready meal with me to work today to heat up in the microwave, and this is what it looked like. It was actually surprisingly good. I would recommend it if you see it. Does anyone else have chicken nuggets with their mac and cheese, or is it just us? So I just showed you the nuggets we're having there with mac and cheese tonight, and putting my pasta in the pan and getting that boiling before I just add some butter, some flour, and then some oat milk to make a roux for my vegan cheese sauce. I just add more and more milk really gradually, and thicken it up along with some of the vegan parmesan, some garlic, some paprika, some black pepper, and then I add some pasta water as well. I then go in with some nutritional yeast and grate some cheese into the sauce. And this is what it looks like. It's so tasty and delicious, honestly. Next night we had some nachos. So I am just going to be cutting up this pepper into little strips. And then I am cutting up the mushrooms into little pieces as well. Then I add some oil to a pan before I add in those veggies. And I'm using some chicken mince. There's actually 31 grams of protein in this mince, which I had no idea about. So very happy about that. Before I just add some seasonings. So cumin, good decent chunk of that. Some paprika. And then I add some cayenne pepper as well, only a little bit. Can't deal with too much spice. Before I add in some onion and some garlic as well. Give that a really good mix and fry that all up. And then what I'm going to do is lay out these tortilla chips on a pan, so make sure they're nice and flat. And then I'm going to add the mixture that I heated up on the stove on top of the tortilla chips, like so, before I then have some salsa. This salsa was from Heron Foods ages ago. I think it was £1.79, this massive thing, and it's been going months. So we added the salsa and then grated some cheese on top, and that's what it looked like coming out of the oven. Chicken nachos with some vegan mayo on top there as well. So this night I made a curry, but I used these potatoes to make crispy curried spiced potatoes in the air fryer, which was so good. So I just peeled them and then I chopped them into little cubes, so really quite small, and then I put them on the hob to parboil them before seasoning them and putting them in the air fryer to crisp up.
which was a really good idea because you got the soft inside and then the crispy outside. And I am now just cutting up this onion to go into the curry. We've got plenty of onions in the freezer now, so I didn't have to do a half one or anything like that like I'd been doing in previous challenges. So that was a nice change, I would say. And then I just took a few mushrooms. I think I took 3 here and chopped them up. I've got chickpeas and red lentils also going into this curry, as well as the chopped tomatoes. So I start out by just putting olive oil in the pan or the wok, and then adding the onion before I'm adding my spices, which is garam masala, paprika, garlic powder, granules, onion granules, turmeric, and I give that all a really good stir and let it get nice and fragrant. And that then I add some mushrooms to that, as well as the chickpeas, and the chickpeas just came straight out of the freezer, which is why I added them at this point and not a little bit later. So that's the potatoes before they went into the air fryer. Then I'm just adding some water to the curry before adding the red lentils, and I do add a little bit more water after this as well. And then I've just got one of the meat-free chicken oxo cubes that I'm adding here for some nice flavour. Normally I'd add a vegetable stock cube here, but I didn't have any, so that's why I used the chicken flavour one, but it did really well, to be fair, so happy with that. Then I'm just adding in some tomato puree. You can see that I'm running out of that, so I've done a good job using it up in this meal. And then I let that fry for a bit before I added in chopped tomatoes and some salt there as well, and then a little bit more of the garam masala and paprika and a little bit more of the garlic.
This is my dinner this evening. I've just got some crispy potatoes that I did in the air fryer. So I parboiled them for maybe like 5-6 minutes first, then put curry spices on them, air fried them for about half an hour. And then I've got, I don't know if I'd call this a curry or like a curried flavour stew. Maybe it's red lentils and chickpeas, onion, mushroom, chopped tomatoes, and then curry spices. But I never follow, when I make curry, I don't really know much about them, so I just add what I think are curry spices in, so like garam masala, paprika, turmeric, that sort of thing, cumin. But my fiance is quite big into his curries and does like actual specific ones, so this is just like a general, for people who are really into curries. I'm sure you could level this up by doing like an actual proper flavour, but this is just my go at it. And it made loads, so I will freeze some of it as well. And then I've got a few more potatoes there, which I might have, I don't know. We'll see how full I am after this.
Here we have breakfast for dinner. There are beans, tofu scramble, fried potatoes, fried mushrooms, baked tomatoes, bacon, sausage. Delicious. This night we're having taco bowls, so really similar to how I made the nachos, to be honest. I've got mushrooms, peppers and onions in the pan there, and some rice boiling. And then what I'm going to do is add the chicken mince again to this pan before I add in some seasoning. So I use paprika, cumin, garlic, black pepper and some fajita seasoning, and then I've just added a red chili in there, and this is what it looked like. I added salsa, mayo, tortilla chips. So that is everything that I made and bought this week. I would say that despite spending a low amount, so less than £11 I believe, or less than £12, still I ended up buying quite a bit of fresh stuff, which really helped with the meals this week. I was really grateful for that, and it meant that having those fresh peppers was the highlight of the week for me, for sure. I love a pepper and I love Mexican style food, so I really enjoyed that. In terms of what we actually used up this week, so there are no more chickpeas left in the freezer, which is good. We went through all our bread, and then we've gone through half a loaf of the bread that we picked up at Aldi as well. So that has gone right down. There's one protein pitta left, but that's it. And we also
have used another bag of the chicken mince and are partway through the next bag of that as well. So that's really, really good. The sausages are done and gone as well. And we did actually eat all of those potatoes that we had bought. So that was really positive. We do still have one day to go from this video before we go away. So there is some veg left in the fridge, but I will be using the majority of it. There'll be some carrots left over, but what I'm going to do is cut them up and put them in the freezer with some onion, and then we've got kind of like that chef's base ready to go, minus the celery, I suppose. But that will be helpful when I'm making things when we return. And we do have onions, but they last forever in the fridge, so I'm not worried about leaving those. I don't think they'll spoil when we're away, so that will be absolutely fine. I've really enjoyed doing this, and it goes to show actually that we don't need to be doing a full shop each week, which I kind of knew anyway, just from doing the challenge series of £15 in various supermarkets. Because I already had lots of items in, like I just felt like the cupboards, like the stockpile was building, and it just felt a bit like, oh, I'm just shopping for the sake of it, for a video obviously, but not because we genuinely need food. We tend to try and drag it out kind of over a few more days, so we don't do the same shopping day each week if we can help it. We try and wait like a bit longer than a week and that sort of thing to make things stretch further. But obviously on a schedule, I haven't been doing that. So what's next? Well, I'm going on holiday. So I do have one video queued up, ready to go next week, but then I will be having a week off to just fully enjoy my holiday and not have to worry about filming content. If you like this video, please like, please subscribe, tell your friends, and leave me a comment. Which of these meals will you be trying with items in your fridge, freezer, and pantry? Bye!